Good morning, dear students of class 7. How are you all? Student, I am a science teacher, DPS sir, from Malcolm Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Student, today, what the part of that chapter which is already in continue process, chapter 11, that is reproduction plant. Few topics which I have re-explained in my previous video. The part of that chapter today, the topic which I will discuss, I will re-explain today. The first topic is advantages of vegetative reproduction. So I have already explained in student about the what is vegetative reproduction. The reproduction that occurs by the help of the body part of different plants like roots, stem, leaf. So if any reproduction is taking place by the help of the body part of different plants, such reproduction is called the vegetative reproductions. Okay, students, what are the demerit? What are the merits? Means what are the beneficial point? What is the advantages of this method of reproduction? Student, the plant like banana, which doesn't give seed. So such plant reproduction in such plant could take place by the help of their stem. By cutting the stem part, if we put into the ground surface, after some care, taking care of sometimes, it will grow into a new plant. So this is first advantage that such plant in which there is no fruit, no flower, no seeds might occur, then such plant could also give reproduction to a new plant by the help of their body part. Just for example, I have given the example of banana plant. Next, student, is that if you compare a plant produced by the help of seeds and a plant which is produced by the help of its vegetative part, so the plant growing by the help of vegetative parts grows earlier than in compared to the plants that is grown by the help of the seeds. This is second advantages of the vegetative reproduction. Again, the plant that is grown by the help of their parts grows earlier in compare to the plant that grows by the help of the seeds. Next to it, in some cases there are certain plants that could be grown both the method by both the method, that is by seed also and by its parts, vegetative parts also. But in certain cases, if the seed of that plant is not fit, not healthy for producing a new plant, so by the help of their, in that case, by the help of their body part, a new plant could be grown. Next to it, next topic, next you can say advantage of this vegetative reproduction is that the plant that is grown by the help of their body part, when it will get fully matured, its nature, behavior is whatsoever the properties will be same to that of their mother plant. Okay, student. So this topic was about the advantages of vegetative reproductions. Now let's see about the disadvantages of vegetative. So in the demerits, if a plant is grown by the help of their body part and that mother plant has got certain good and what you can say demerits. Merits goes as well as demerits. If that plant is not fit, not good, if it has got certain disease in them, then as because its body part by the help of his body part, a new plant is grown. So the disease will also transfer to those new plants that is grown from that mother plant. Means that undesired quality will also pass. But in case of seed, अगर हम उसी पौधे के बीज से, अगर सीड से उगाते, बीज से उगाते, तो बीज में हम चुन लेते हैं, पहले उसका सिलेक्शन कर लेते हैं. वी वुड हैव सेलेक्टेड द सीड्स, द गुड सीड्स, वी वुड हैव सोन एंड रिमूव द बैड सीड्स. खराब सीड्स को, बीज को हटा देते, अच्छे बीज को हम लोग बोते, जिससे कि सारे पौधे अच्छे होते. बट इन केस ऑफ दिस vegetative reproductions, the disease was totally spread in its body part. Whether we are cutting its leaf part, stem part, root part, disease is present in all its whole body part. And the new plant that will grow, the disease will also be present in that new baby plant. So these are the demerits. अगर सीड्स के केस से हम बात करते, बोते, तो हम बीज को पहले चुनाव कर लेते, तो गारंटीड होता है जो हमारा सीड से जो पौधा होता वो स्वस्थ पौधा होता. पर इसमें, इस केस में जो इसके डीमेरिट्स होंगे वो जाने ही जाने हैं उसके नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में, नेक्स्ट न्यू प्लांट्स, बेबी प्लांट में. सो दीज आर द मेरिट्स एंड डीमेरिट्स ऑफ द वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन. नाउ स्टूडेंट, my next topic is budding. Few plant just like yeast. In case of yeast, few plant just a bud all comes out to that part, and if we remove this part bud and place it on the ground, or by its own if it falls, after some time it will also become a mature plant. So such plant that occurs, that you can say do the reproduction by the help of the budding formation. It gives the buds, and when that buds falls down, it also becomes mature plant. So by the help of budding, this reproduction is take place by the help of budding. Next to it, spore formation. There are certain plants. So next to it, about the spore formation, few plants actually, student, spore is not seed. Don't get confused that spore is seed. Actually, spore is a unicellular body, spherical in shape, covered with a protective covering that is present in the non-flowering plant like fern and mosses as well as fungi. These spores which are present in the outer part, they are present under a hard covering. It remains present under a hard covering until and unless the favorable conditions comes. When the favorable conditions comes for that spores, it breaks its covering and a new plant start arising by the help of those spores. So again student, spore is not any seed. Don't be confused that spore is seed. It is just a unicellular part which is present in a plant like fern, mosses, which is a non-flowering plant, as well as fungi, and they remain protected by their outer hard covering, tough covering. And when the favorable conditions comes, those outer covering breaks, and there a new plant starts coming from those spores. So these are the reproduction by means of spore, that is called the spore formation. Next is that student about the fragmentation that I have here in the method of fragmentation, method of reproduction. Student, you have seen a slimy green patch present in a stagnant water of pond, which is an algae. A special type of algae, Spirogyra, which has a long filament in their body part. And when this Spirogyra, which is a type of algae, when it attains its maturity, it breaks its body part into two or more than two fragments, parts. And this breaking of their body part is called fragmentation. And each and every body part, each and every fragment grows into a complete individuals. And its growing is so fast that within a short period of time it covers the whole upper surface of the that is stagnant water, or you can say pond. So this method of reproduction that occurs in a type of algae that is called Spirogyra, which filamentous body breaks into many parts, and every part becomes grow and becomes a complete mature a new Spirogyra, and its reproduction is so fast that it covers the whole pond, whole stagnant water very soon. So this is the about the fragmentation method of reproduction, student. Now let's go further. The binary fission. My last topic, today's last topic is about the binary fission. So student, what is binary fission? I think so student, you have heard unicellular organisms, amoeba. Amoeba is such unicellular organisms that in which reproduction takes place neither by fragmentation, spore formation, budding or any method, but it just divide its when it gets mature, fully developed, fully grown up, it divides body part into two equal parts, and the way it divides, all the inner organelles also divide the same equal parts. Again it grow and become a one individual matured amoeba divides into two. Again that two grows and become mature. Again that two divide further and become four. Like this way, from mid part start compressing, and the moment it comes, it separates into two different organisms or two different amoeba. So this method of dividing from what you can say from mid or from between into two different parts occurs in a creature in organisms like amoeba, and this method of reproduction that takes place in amoeba is the binary fission. Is the student binary fission? Okay. Next, just I want to recap what I have explained today in my topics about the advantages of the vegetative reproduction. I have told that the method of vegetative reproduction is fast enough than that grown by the seeds. In such plant that in which seeds are not able to be grown, so that plant could able to be grown by the help of their different body parts. Okay, and all the good merits are transferred from the mature plant from its body part to the other plant of their own, which is grown from that body plant. Same way, in the disadvantage also, if any germs or if any, what you can say, defaults are there in the parent plant, and when that parent plants, by the help of their body parts, it get those diseases get transferred to the new plants that has been arise from that parent plants. These are the advantages and disadvantages to it. Next, I have explained about the budding plant like yeast, in which buds comes out, and that buds removes from those mother plant and becomes mature, grow into a new plant, and this method of reproduction in yeast is called by the taken by the help of the budding. Next, I will explain that spore formation. Spore formation, spores are not the seed actually. They are spherical in shape. They are covered by a hard covering present in the plant like non-flowering plant like fern and mosses, and few plant like fungi. And these hard covering gets removed when the spores gets the favorable conditions to grow. So such reproduction that takes place here is by the method of spore formation. Next to it, I have explained about the fragmentation. Fragmentation occurs in a plant, in a you can say microscopic plant like algae, which is present in a stagnant water known spirogyra, which has got a filamentous body, and when it becomes mature, it divides body parts into many parts, or you can say many fragments, and this dividing its body part into many parts fragments is called fragmentation, and each part becomes again grows into a full individual part, mature. This method of reproduction is called the fragmentation. Next one, binary fission. In case of amoeba, in case of amoeba, this is a unicellular organisms. While doing reproductions, it divides its body from part in such a way that all the internal parts also equally divides into two separate parts. And this method of reproduction that takes place in amoeba is by the help of binary fission. So student, today hope so what the topic I have discussed, the concept will be clear of this topic. So listen to the video carefully. Thank you. Have a nice day, student.